Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the spiritual heart of Turkey, Konya. This is day 2 of our trip. By now, the calm blanket of Konya has really settled in on us. We visited a museum with calligraphy carved out of stone. We chatted over Turkish coffee. I had such a good time speaking to people on the trip, getting their impressions of Konya and comparing that to Istanbul. I think you really like what they say. I feel like their comments were very insightful. We toured a preserved church from the year 300 AD and we did some shopping in the beautiful Bazaar. Assalamu alaikum, this is Basira and welcome to my channel. This is a place where you can see Islamic abstract art and also hear the different things from the Quran that inspired me to create it. I share poems and reflections on life and nature and the Quran, and of course I'm sharing my travels to Muslim lands. I hope you enjoy. No matter your age or where you come from, everybody seems to love butterflies. This is a funny ad for chicken. If you've ever practiced writing calligraphy with a qalam in the traditional way, then you know how hard it is just to even write it with the ink and qalam. Imagine crafting it with sculpting it into stone the way they have done. This museum was an attribute to the way the Turkish people preserve what is old and respect and honor the work that's done before them. Even though some of the pieces were broken pieces of calligraphy carved in stone, they kept it and preserved it. It was truly amazing to see. If you've never had Turkish Pide before, this is how good it is. Now that we've eaten, we're headed to the bazaar for some shopping, and I'm going to speak to people about their impressions of Konya. But first, I just want you to notice the detail on the entryway to this beautiful old masjid.
The taste is not anything like special, you know? Is it strong?
Yeah.
What is
the
this?
caffeine content. It's Turkish coffee.
Okay.
I bought about 13 bags since I've been here. I got those are like 2 for 12. So like once you get back to America and you want like some coffee or whatever, sit down, parlay at the house, have your nice coffee, chill out. Yeah, a Turkish taste, you know.
Is it the brand? Is it the grounds that you're using, or is it like the way they're making?
To be honest, I don't know all that stuff, but it's good. You know what I'm saying?
You guys mind if you're recorded on camera
Put me on
right
the
now?
internet. I'm trying to build my family.
I know you don't mind.
Yeah.
You guys mind?
Yeah.
Can I ask you all a question? And you too. Like, have you noticed anything different between Istanbul and Konya that you want to talk about?
Yes.
Like it's calmer. Yeah, calmer in Konya.
Calmer?
I don't feel as like hectic or rushed or whatever. It's nice. The weather is also different. It's less humid in Konya.
Yeah.
So it's a lot nicer. It reminds me a lot of Texas. So it's really arid and like windy, so it reminds me of North Texas. Like good North Texas.
Nice in there.
You can breathe easier. You're not constantly like thinking about the humidity.
I know. I don't want to cut your sisters off. You know. I think here, like the people are like, they're more approachable. They're more personable. Highly receptive. You know, the tourists. They want to engage you, personally, professionally, whatever. But the whole experience is just, you know, it's humbling. It's a humbling experience. Once again, it's your boy Dawood representing the south side of Chicago. Allah make it easy. I want to give a shout out to my daughter Saida, my son Khalif, just for y'all. I'm getting that Arabic, bringing it back. And, you know, Allah make it easy. Around the world and back, you know. It's nothing. Get off the couch. Muslims everywhere.
Okay. Hey, assalamu alaikum, Raheem.
Welcome assalam.
Yeah, I just want to ask you real quick, how are you feeling in Turkey in general, and then how you feel here in Konya compared to Istanbul? So how are you feeling in Turkey?
I like Turkey. It's gone.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
This place seems to have a lot more life than America does so far. It's very vibrant and energetic. People are very warm. Compared to Istanbul, I don't think that's really fair to say because the majority of Istanbul that we've seen was the school, and it wasn't in exactly the most nice area. Whereas in Konya, we've been going to a bunch of tourist attractions. You know, so I feel like that's kind of a biased comparison. You know, but when we first came, that first week we came to Istanbul, that little area we saw was really nice. So in my opinion, it's kind of hard to tell which one would be better. You know, I feel like if you go to the nicer sides of Istanbul, it could be, I don't know, on the same level as Konya, you know? So I don't know, I can't really say one's better.
Okay. What do you think about Konya? And how do you feel? Do you feel any kind of way about this place?
It's a calmness to it that I'm not used to, if that makes sense.
It makes
And
total
also,
sense.
there's a lot of things that are kind of uncomfortable for me, like not being able to speak the language. Everyone's kind of foreign and not used to seeing like different people here. But other than that, I kind of would like to live here, and actually would prefer it over like America in general. I like that there's more multiplayer. I like how I can play anywhere. But that's just, I guess that applies to Turkey in general. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, and I like what I've seen so far.
Okay.
That really applies to all of Turkey.
Thanks, Raheem.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, we can.
Hey, assalamu alaikum. I was just curious, how do you feel? You've been in Turkey for a little while now. You're studying Arabic in Istanbul. How do you feel between Istanbul and Konya? Is there any difference or any comments you have about that?
I think the main difference that I've noticed is Istanbul is very crowded, and it's like heavily that's cool. And it's heavily influenced by tourists and tourism. Like people treat you, Turks treat you like a foreigner. Yeah, like a foreigner. Here in Konya, people, I guess it's less common to see foreigners. So they don't really treat you differently. They just stare at you and move about their day. They don't change prices on you as much as Istanbul. It's cleaner here in Konya. You can breathe air. Yeah, the smoking is less. I mean, it's just, I think it's just like cleaner, more open environment in Konya than Istanbul.
And we're about to get hit by some melons. Okay, got you. Thank you. How about you? Do you feel any difference or?
Same thing.
Okay.
Konya is more open, and Istanbul is more, you know, it's more crowded, more population. So when they look at other people from other places, they're just like, you know, they're tourists, and then they treat them like tourists, you know, not like their own people. Over here, they treat you like their own people. Yeah.
Inshallah. All right. Jazakallah khair.
Before I chat with the next person, I wanted to show you the scene at the bazaar. The locals and the tourists are so chill. It's so calm. Just enjoy.
So I just wanted to ask you if you could share some feelings or thoughts you have about Istanbul and Konya, and if you've noticed anything about the cities or feelings or any differences between them.
Yeah, so I think for Istanbul, one of the things our Arabic teacher actually asked us what we like our favorite parts of Istanbul were and our least favorite parts. And I think everyone in our class, including myself, was saying we love the history and how Turkey in general, like you can see with Konya, you can see that in Istanbul too, they really preserve things. Compared to some other Muslim countries that always preserve everything that has significance, and even these small things like Friday where we saw those not tiles, but the stones that have calligraphy in them. They're broken stones, yet those were saved, right? And you can see even really small things being saved that have historical value here in Konya and also in Istanbul. And then how readily there are masajid available everywhere is beautiful about Istanbul and also Konya. I think one thing that's different is although both are pretty busy, I feel like Konya is a little bit more relaxed, and even though there's definitely like tourists that are coming here, it's not as much of a tourist center. Like I feel like when we were traveling as a group in Istanbul, everyone was not surprised by, like, the regular people that live in Istanbul were not surprised by seeing us. But here, like, when we're traveling around, everyone's staring and like confused about what's going on. And I mean, I think Sheikh Khalil mentioned this as something that he feels like, you know, there's something about like the hospitality here that's different than Istanbul, and it's perceived potentially as more so. I think I would agree to that with that to an extent. I feel like there's more like national pride potentially in Istanbul, which might make it so they're not as friendly with all people that are visiting.
That's interesting.
But also we haven't interacted enough with the people in Konya, so I don't know if I would be able to say that for sure about as a difference. But I've definitely noticed that in Istanbul, especially like when traveling alone or if I'm speaking Arabic, compared to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say those are big things.
Inshallah, alhamdulillah. Any other feelings to share?
I love even though this is still really big, I know I mentioned this before already, but I feel like this seems more homey. Konya seems homier to me than Istanbul. It's clearly very large, but it seems like the people here like know every part of it. Whereas there are people that I have that are relatives and friends in Istanbul, and like there's just Istanbul is so big. It's like if you're from Istanbul, like doesn't mean that you know everything about the city, right? Whereas it seems like here that some of the people that we've interacted with, although they are from the government and working for the government, so they might know more by default. They seem like they have more pride and know more about what's actually happening in their town, their city.
It's a good observation. All right, thank you.
Of course.
Before we head out to this preserved church, I wanted to share some of the sights and sounds of the lively side of the bazaar.
This is an old church built around the year 300 something AD in Konya.
There's two things I need to point out. One, the adhan, or the Islamic call to prayer you just heard, was not coming from inside the church. It was coming from a masjid outside. Secondly, what you are witnessing here is a testament to the Turkish people and how for a millennium they have preserved and honored and respected other people's religion. We learned that the Ottoman Empire actually funded the preservation of churches and synagogues. Here we're passing back by the masjid that we prayed Jummah at, and the tomb of Arum. You can see how it's not a part of the masjid, it's on the compound, and here it is, and his tomb is right underneath that dome. Right now we're on our way to see the whirling dervishes. Was not allowed to record anything, and I didn't want to disrespect the rules, so I cannot show you inside, but I can show you the ride along the way, so you can see some of the streets and the neighborhood. In the next video, I'm going to show you this beautiful city, Alanya, which is on the southwest coast of Turkey. I saw so many amazing things. There's a beautiful beach side, a mountain with a castle above it, and you can actually go up into the Taurus Mountains back there and visit an old village where Turkish women who are at least 20 years older than myself, their skin looks younger, they're stronger, and they're carrying massive jugs of water, fresh mountain water, back to their homes uphill. What I've seen of Turkey so far is humbling and eye-opening, and it's truly an honor to be able to share this with you. Thank you so much for coming along. Assalamu alaikum.